Hi, this is my analysis of performance. Jordan Burrow, student number 300476165. So the performance I'm going to analyse is Liverpool Football Club. The initial problem is the form is not the same as it was previous seasons. They find themselves conceding more goals than normal, than they normally do, and that's reiterated by Goswami 2022, where Jamie Carragher states in September, can this team get it back, referring to the poor start and conceding goals more regularly. So I want to try and find out why Liverpool are conceding more goals, and get into the nitty gritty of that. So to help me do that, I've looked at different theories, especially the dynamical systems theory, which is very prevalent in football due to the high octane nature of it and the moving parts, and that's specified by Dutz Matsuma, who states that due to football being a highly dimensional team sport with moving parts, it is classified as a dynamical system, and that is a system I'm going to use in my analysis. In a dynamical system, a perturbation will cause an instability. A perturbation is something that disrupts the flow. So as you can see there, Hughes and Reed 2005 state that disrupt the rhythmic throw, for example, a loss of possession, a break in play, something that's out of the ordinary. That's a perturbation, and that's what I'm trying to find out. Glazer 2013 states that a critical observation is that performance outcomes are the main focus of sports performance analysis, as opposed to the underlying mechanics and processes that produce these outcomes. So taking that into consideration, looking at how Liverpool, so delving deeper into how Liverpool have conceded more goals, I'm going to look specifically at how Liverpool have lost possession in their final third and the subsequent actions afterwards, leading to the opposition creating more chances and scoring goals. So I want to find out why Liverpool, how they're losing possession, and subsequently what are the actions after that. So in order to collect this information, I had to follow some methodological processes. The first one was to establish some key performance indicators, key KPIs, and the collective action after loss of possession. Hughes and Bartlett 2002 state that KPIs are a combination of action variables that aim to define some or all aspects of performance. A big positive in collating these key performance indicators is it's very objective. It's free from bias, and it's not my personal opinion. It's the opinion of the research and the knowledge. It also makes sure that it's a valid analysis due to measuring what it's supposed to measure. And these are my key performance indicators. I specifically looked at collective actions after loss of possession, because that's my aim, and I want to see how Liverpool do that. So there's a few KPIs on the left-hand side there, is penetrative actions, non-penetrative actions, and there's the operational definition of as you can see. And they're all taken from Gonzalez, Ronderes et al. 2020. They're all adapted from his work. They talk about pressure and what kind of attack is subsequently after that. So after establishing some KPIs, I used a flow chart. This is my buttons template. I used Nax Sport. That was the analysis platform that I use. It gives you it's a great tool on how to use notational analysis. Lees et al. 2014 state that it's one of the most useful notational analysis techniques is the extraction of data from a database. So you use Nax Sport and it puts it into a table for you, and then you can look at the data from there at a later date. The flowchart really helped because it's Liverpool at the top there, and then it was the position which I didn't use. I used the actions, so the pressure actions, and then the subsequent actions after that. And then in yellow, they're the outcomes afterwards. So in order to gain a reliable consistency of the measure, I carried out a pilot score and a Kappa score. So this was I observed 2 games previously to doing Liverpool just to make sure that before I went along the process I had knowledge, and it was a reliable test. So you did 2 separate halves, 2 45-minute halves of the Manchester United game, and checked the buttons template worked. The coding process was all up to speed, and I got a result of 0.85 after doing that, which showed, which is obviously green, which shows that the buttons template and the coding process was good to go for the analysis of Liverpool. So I analysed three separate games when I analysed Liverpool, and looking at the findings that I had just initially, the majority of pressure when Liverpool lost the ball in their final third came from single pressures. So that says to me that they are losing 50-50 one-on-one duels, which is something that will need to be addressed to go forward first and foremost, because that's the main source of the problem. That is the loss of possession. As you can see, it's over 50% there from the data. And then just touching on their initial pressure, just defined there is one opposing player pressuring the Liverpool player within 1.5 metres. So I analysed 3 different games, and that was the score in terms of pressure over the 3 games. So piecing this information together, after the initial single pressure, it was the penetrative or non-penetrative action, which is split into 2 different categories there. So if it was a non-penetrative action, the ball went backwards and didn't go past the Liverpool player. If it was a penetrative action, it went past the Liverpool player in the first 3 seconds, dribble past or past. The ball got past the Liverpool player. And then it was what type of attack it was. Was it a combination attack, a direct attack, or a fast attack? And as you can see from the data there, when initially a Liverpool player gets beat from a penetrative action, it is normally a fast attack against them towards their goal, or a direct attack, in contrast to a non-penetrative action where the direct and combination play is not so great. So that suggests to me that Liverpool are susceptible to fast attacks against them once they've lost the ball. So looking at what these fast attacks lead to. So this here you can see these are the outcomes at the end. The break in play, direct attack, goal against, Liverpool regaining possession, opposition kept the ball, penalty box entry, shot or nothing. So as you can see that after the fast attack, Liverpool regained possession in the majority of cases. But what I'm interested in is not Liverpool regaining the ball back. It's how they have conceding chances. And I think the most alarming statistic there, or the most worthy statistic, is the amount of penalty box entries after Liverpool have conceded a fast attack. This again suggests that they're susceptible to the fast attack. And I'll be touching on later how I would go about that from a coaching perspective. Some of the implications for practice. Turner and Sawyer's 2010 states that the research suggests that a fast counter-attack can influence a high number of attacking outcomes. Again, looking at it from how this is going to affect the practice, if now we're well in the knowledge that Liverpool are susceptible to these faster counter-attacks after initially losing the ball in their 1v1 duels. It suggests that the transitions are not good enough, or it could also suggest that the Liverpool players are committing too many bodies forward, and they're therefore exposing the back line as a result of that. So applying this knowledge that I've gained into practice, application and intervention. So I use the representative learning design when design practice when doing this. A representative learning design is making sure the practice represents as close as possible to the competition environment. That's by Barris et al. So as a coach, you have to try and replicate game scenarios into training. That gives you the best possible way of reenacting and making sure that when it occurs on a Saturday, you can do something about it, or a game day, you can maybe do something about it. So that was a representative learning design that I used. So trying to apply this to a practice. So we're now in the knowledge that Liverpool, how they've lost possession, going back to the aim, how Liverpool have lost possession and the subsequent actions after that leading to the opposition creating more chances. So now we've established the majority of how they lose possession is 1v1 duels. So using a constraints-led approach, as you can see from the diagram there, that's a simple attack v defence drill. A constraints-led approach is applying constraints that can lead to a more effective skill acquisition. That's from Jenkins 2008. So the constraints would be deliberately let the perturbations occur, which is giving the ball away. So I would deliberately do that. And then try and restrict the amount of bodies going forward beyond the ball. So this means that if a penetrative action was to occur against Liverpool after initially losing possession, then they would be in a more suitable position to stop the fast counter-attacks that we've touched on before. I would deliberately put this in place so that more actions could occur, and they could get 30 to 40 different instances of defending against counter-attacks with the appropriate personnel in place, which smooths out the process and allows Liverpool to regain possession more often than they already have been doing. So in conclusion, I've touched on Liverpool's poor form, and the question was how Liverpool lost possession and the subsequent actions afterwards leading to the opposition creating more chances. I've touched on some methodological considerations in terms of Kappa scores, in terms of buttons templates, in terms of dynamical systems theory, and smoothing out the process. The interpretations of the findings were that the Liverpool are conceding fast counter-attacks too often, which lead into penalty box entries. The way that I would have applied and intervened as a coach would be to set a practice up which is designed to a constraints-led approach in practice, which is designed to for Liverpool to have a lot of these situations where they're against counter-attack and they can do something about it. So this is the reference list that I've used. Appreciate you listening to the presentation, and hopefully it's been insightful and we can go from there. Thank you very much.